a little bit harder to expand on this map. A lot more potential for early aggression, so I think that's something that Hack, ProTech, and Power here are very likely to fall back upon.
Yep, and the countdown has started. The loading screen is up. We'll get underway in just a moment here. I'm updating the score. Minigun and Destiny up 1-0 in the best of 3 series, and here we are with Minigun as the blue Protoss in the bottom left, representing Team Guns and Broaches. His partner Root Destiny in the top left as the teal or light blue, whatever you want to call it, Zerg. And on Team ProTech, we've got Hack ProTech in the top right as the pink Zerg, and his partner Power, the red Terran, in the bottom right.
So he did go ahead and spawn his Terran then, so I think it's very likely we might see that Hellion Speedling kind of competition. You know, I also got to point out, check out ProTech's little insignia thing around his hat tree. It's got that Terran emblem. This is what happens when you play a lot of team games. That's pretty sick right there.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen that before. I actually forgot those little emblems existed. I forgot.
Me too, until I saw that. I was like, damn, I gotta go play 4,500 team games now.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a lot of team games. Destiny is not quite as cool. Can't really tell what that is. Random design.
It's kind of brood. Like, it's been too long since I played the campaign. They don't even have broods in the StarCraft 2 campaign. But anyway, do we have any early pools coming out here? It looks like ProTech going for what appears to be a pretty early pool. Destiny will actually be matching that, but of course the challenge is always going to be for the Protoss player here, Minigun, to really be able to get out enough units to deal with this. We don't see any actual gas bursts coming out from Power, though. Surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, no gas. Gas first would definitely mean speedlings or maybe banelings. We haven't really seen a lot of baneling rushes. Maybe one game, I don't remember who was playing, but usually, especially on big maps like this, you want to get that gas first for that ling speed. I know I feel safest when I'm getting gas first because I can move out, do some scouting, maintain map control, get the towers, but none of that will be had this time around. Both players going for a slower gas, with Destiny's being slightly behind. And second barracks for Power, and nothing too crazy going on just yet.
Yeah, we'll definitely see an early push at some point here. I'm really curious how many Marines he's going to want to wait for to move across the map, and it's actually going to be right into Roaches here, so this is going to be like a 2 racks with maybe some kind of one of those 1 base 5 Roach rushes, or 7 Roach rushes, whatever, however many Roaches they want to get, but definitely going to be some early aggression. How much has Destiny and Minigun actually seen of this? Looks like he's seen the pool timing. They've seen the 2 barracks, but they don't actually know about that Roach Horn. Nonetheless, Destiny going straight for his own Roach Horn as well.
And 2 more barracks for Power. The early Roaches, this leads me to believe there's going to be some kind of 1 base all-in. They got so dominated last game, they might be a little bit on tilt. They might think, we can't win in a macro game. I don't know. 4 racks, I mean, as a Terran, doesn't that kind of mean, hey, I'm just going to build a bunch of units, attack, and hope I win that way?
Yeah, that generally means you're going to take half your SCVs, march across the map, maybe do some kind of bit-by-bit chant, and hope you win. And this is going to be really strong and difficult to hold, I think, just given, Minigun right now, he's got 1 gateway's worth of production. He's making a 2nd gate. Looks like his probe wants to make a 3rd gateway here. But, Warp Gate is still at halfway completed, and there's already, 4, 5, 6 something Roaches out for ProTech. Destiny is, of course, making Roaches as well, though, so I really think they've done their homework, but nonetheless, this is not going to be easy to hold.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny's got a good number of Roaches. He's probably going to have about equal to ProTech, but it doesn't look like Minigun's really on top of production right now. He's now throwing down those additional 3 gateways. They seem a little bit later than they should be, considering this attack is almost to their base, and those gateways are almost about to finish. He'll have to transform them into warp gates still. But here they come. The Roach is soaking up the damage. The Marines trying to deal that damage. Is it going to be successful? It might depend on the force fields. No, Minigun with hardly any units. You cannot force field his partner's ramp. He's just not there in time. There it goes. Nice force field, cutting these armies in half. That's going to increase their chances significantly.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good force field. The Marines actually able to fit through that, though, so that hurts. But look at this, they're actually just buying time right here. And PowerTech, I think this is a major mistake. Pulling back, trying to go for minigun. He just throws down another force field, but the question is Destiny going to take a lot of damage to his economy? And will he be able to buy enough time as these warp gates are now fully functional? Minigun on 4 gates right now, going to be able to pump out a lot of units, but there's just so many Marines and Roaches sitting in Destiny's base right now.
And in comes minigun's units. A lot of sentries, though. Not the best for killing. Just good for force fields. 2 force fields, kind of a whiff. Not really going to accomplish a whole lot. I guess trapping some Marines for those Roaches to eat up. But is this Roach Marine force going to be able to take out Destiny's Roach force? That's a lot of Marines, but they're kind of splitting their forces. Minigun bouncing back and forth with those Stalkers. They now have a pincer, so ProTech and Power really have nowhere to run. These Roaches from Destiny doing a great job of taking down those Marines. A couple of Roaches, too. And it looks like they will defend this.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Really nice control there. But, you know, I got to give Power and ProTech some credit here, too. Command Center is about halfway done. He didn't bring any SCVs with this attack, so, I mean, they didn't fully commit to that attack in any regard. You know, it's very interesting. He does go up to 4 barracks, but once again, it's not a 1v1. That's not like a fully all-in build in this. It's just, you know, a completely different style of play. But either way, it looks like Destiny and Minigun are going to go for a counterattack. Okay, a probe is coming here, so they definitely want to bring on the pain train here.
Yep, and you can see that pylon trying to go up from Minigun. And you know, the thing about this is they were so aggressive. Power and ProTech were so aggressive, but if you check the harvester count, it's almost dead even. The problem is, I think they were expecting, after they backed off, for the game to settle down a little bit, but Destiny and Minigun will have none of that. They are moving in, nice force field cutting off the retreat of those Marines, and it's going to be close. I can't say I've seen Stalker Roach against Marine Roach that often to really say who's going to come out on top.
And you know what, these 2 bunkers are up, so I really do think we're going to see a bit of a longer game here, because those are going to be very difficult to break, and there is a forward pylon, so he can just keep warping in sentries if he wants and try and force field those bunkers, deny any repairing, but that's just a very difficult thing to break right there, and I'm curious if we'll see an expansion. It looks like Destiny will go ahead and expand, but of course Zerg just wants that to increase his production anyway. It doesn't really tell you exactly how much they will be committing to this attack, and I'm very interested in this. Looks like there was a pause. Ooh.
Viewers can't be happy about that.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of people going nuts.
We need to listen to them. Destiny's hilarious. So we do have a pause.
As I was saying, though, at the bottom right of the map, Destiny is an overlord that's kind of moving along the edge, and it's very possible that if they keep up the pressure in the center, Minigun could go just build a pylon down and then warp in some units into the high ground of Red's base here and really do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and we saw that simultaneously in both bases, warping in 4 Zealots and just taking out a command center, taking out a Nexus, or maybe a hatchery and a Nexus, and that actually ended up with the GG happening there. So when there are bunkers in the front, attack from the side, I guess. We're still waiting on Destiny to rejoin the Skype call. And again, you guys can listen into the conversations of both these teams. We have a stream up just for that, and I know Destiny's going to have some interesting things to say if we can get them back into that conversation here.
Yeah, there were a ton of funny quotes from those 2 guys. I saw a lot of funny quotes as well from Chef and Rhett getting posted, so just a pretty cool feature to have, I think. But this game,
guys.
Yeah, I don't really know what's taking so long. This game, I mean, it's pretty even. I wonder if they're trying to figure out what they actually want to do. It's like, hey, do we go for the all-in here, or do you want to just sit back and macro? I mean, they're in a great spot, really, to pull back. That command center is up, but, you know, they can just Minigun go ahead, throw his Nexus down, and I think they'd be in a pretty good spot, too.
Yeah, and if I can just cycle through these production tab, the army tab. If we check the armies, looks like the red player Power, he's got more SCVs, he's got higher supply, and other than that, the other 3 players are about dead even. So despite their kind of botched up early aggression, they're not in bad shape here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just solid play coming out from them, and that was such a strong timing attack, really. Like, it was just so close, and I really do think they might have made a couple of mistakes there in terms of, you know, pulling back and trying to go for Minigun's ramp, when if they had just fully committed, I think they kind of gave Minigun the time to get a lot more units warped in.
Something interesting I just brought up was the APM tab. Power and ProTech actually lying at averages of 245 and 222. Minigun and Destiny lying at 134 and 107. That's kind of strange. Once again, APM is not everything, and we have resumed the game.
Yeah, that APM clearly a little bit lower, but they're still, performing pretty well here. They're still here in the round of 8, and it looks like Destiny wants to keep on poking in here, but I just don't think they can break that, and actually Minigun did throw down his Nexus, so they're probably just going to posture a little bit in the front here, and I think that's a great choice. You want to keep this, a little bit in the dark. You don't want to just make it obvious, okay, we're going for an expanding. You want to, try and make your opponent maybe build more bunkers, build more roaches. Obviously, a Zerg player, every roach you make. As a matter of fact, ProTech hasn't even thrown down his natural hatchery. He's teching up to a lair, but no expansion for him, so his production is really quite stifled, if you will.
Yeah, he can't be happy about that. Looks like he is going to go to tech instead. I'm kind of surprised he's not expanding, considering they have that nice little bunker wall. He's a Zerg player, and he really needs to expand. And he's up to about 24 drones right now. Wouldn't be able to transfer too effectively. But if something is going to cause them to fall behind in this game, I think it just might be that, because Destiny and Minigun both have their bases. And I think they're droning up here. Well, actually, Destiny. No, that's not Destiny. Yeah, Destiny's droning up. Minigun's just completing his Nexus. Some more probes on the way. And also adding on a robotics facility. Eventually, they might just hit that Colossi Infestor combination again.
Yep, and Minigun actually does have that pylon in the southern area of the map I was talking about with the Overlord squatting, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Actually, wait, did he work something in there? I saw the probe, or the SCV's getting pulled off.
I think
doesn't look like he took any major losses. Yeah, it looks like a Zealot who was definitely worked in, and that's going to give this away. But nonetheless, we're just kind of transitioning into a bit of a macro game here.
Yep, Destiny just positioning his roaches in the middle of this map. Does he have roach speed? I don't believe he does. Does he even have a lair? His lair is just now starting, actually. It's a +1 attack on the way. And ProTech content with just pumping out the roaches. 28 of those roaches. Are they going to be aggressive? Yes, they are. Do they have the stim? They've got stim. Those Marines do not have combat shields. Is it on the way? Yes, it's 35 out of 110, so... if they keep going at this pace, the combat shields will not be ready in time. Neither will that +1 upgrade. And you think this is going to do much damage? They've got some sentries there.
Definitely going to come down to the force fields here. And nice scan there, actually picking off the observer, but huge force fields going down. Just going to eat these roaches for dinner that are in front. Unfortunately, the medevacs can't actually pick those up. But of course, the medevacs can heal the roaches. So as long as those roaches are in the front, it's not going to be too big a deal. There is no combat shield for the Marines. The Marines will... be able to fire safely from the back, but just attacking up this ramp, I think, really is a big mistake. They could have possibly gone around, but they are just going for it. Minigun with an Immortal out as well. That Immortal going to be pretty sick, but can actually get in here and start attacking some of these roaches.
Yeah, and those medevacs are really helping out. The roaches and stalkers and sentries, not the highest damage units, and those medevacs are able to heal through it just fine. It looks like Power and ProTech are going to break this. The Immortal goes down. And are they going to be able to actually clean up their expansions, maybe try to get into the main? Sentries being picked off, almost all of them depleted of energy. And if you check out that mini-map, tons of pink and red units just rallying in here. This might be the end.
Yeah, it looks like they're pretty dead. The Infestation Pit just finishing off. A Colossus just about to pop as the Robo-Bay or the Robotics Facility gets focused down. And yeah, Minigun and Destiny team roaches are team... They're dead, man. I don't think they can come back from this.
Team dead. Guns and Broaches look like they are going to lose the second game rather, tying up the series 1-1. I expect to see a GG any moment here. They're frantically rallying out units, but there's just so many infantry, so many roaches coming up, and there it is. GG from